What is up, guys? Zan from the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you every single way possible to block the nickel 335 odd or 245 odd loot blitz. But before we get into the video, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys take the time to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the uploads coming your way here on the Zan Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to take your game to the next level in Madden 21, check out my strategy site, gridirongameplans.gg. Gridiron Game Plans is your one-stop source for all things competitive Madden. Every week in our Vault update, we take a look at the meta, or the most effective tactics available being used by pro players in the MCS circuit, breaking down not only how and why the pros do what they do, but most importantly, how you can counter those metas when you face them in online gameplay. On top of that, your subscription also includes any and every offensive and defensive gameplay released on the website while your subscription is active. So head over to gridirongameplans.gg. $9.95 per month unlocks the entire website. No additional purchase necessary. Okay, guys, without further ado, let's get into today's video. We are going to be talking about a tip that was actually in my vault about 2 months ago on Gridiron Game Plans, and that is every possible way to block nickel 335 odd. So I do enjoy sharing with you guys here on the YouTube channel, but obviously you guys should be seeing the benefit that there is there on Gridiron. This is something that I had out to my subscribers there on the website, like I said, about 2 months ago. We're going to go through the whole gamut, every possible way that I personally know to block this particular blitz, and there are a number of ways to counter this. One of the things that always gets kind of on my nerves out there is people say that things are nanos, things are unblockable. I will agree with you that there are blitzes out there that are annoying, that are an overburden on your offense to try to counteract them. I'm totally with you on that, but there's no such thing as nanos. There's no such thing as unblockable heat in this game. Let's kind of look at it from this point of view and get right into it. So as you guys know, I've talked about this type of blitz here on the channel a few times. This is a blitz that is bound by agility, and you cannot go above 79 agility on All Pro or 69 agility on All Madden with this particular blitz concept. And that is why you see some weird players and only the same few players on this blitz if you guys play Ultimate Team. If you guys play regs, nearly every regs team has multiple guys that can work on this blitz because the players are not as high in agility rating. So let's go ahead and take the field here. I'm just going to run, the simple Tampa 2 here. So obviously you guys have seen this blitz, right? Where if you don't, if you send everybody out, it's coming in, right? So the first way, obviously, that you guys want to be able to block this is, simply put, just block the running back. So that's the first one. We'll go ahead and set this up again here. Now, there are definitely manipulations that counteract some of these, and that's why we're going to build on this. But again, blocking the running back is a good start. He'll be there, he'll help you out. It's going to give you time in the pocket to make your read. Okay, so that's the first one. But as I mentioned, there are ways that people will, kind of manipulate this whole setup. So, you're going to get scenarios where when you block the running back, he dumbs out, and then the contained guy comes still in. So, that's a problem, right? So let's go ahead and get into what the next setup would be in terms of ease to, kind of block this. And that would be just to have a tight end on the left. If you have a tight end on the left, to me, this is the easiest way to deal with this. Simply put, just block a tight end over there. To me, this is the easiest way. You're never going to have to worry about any crazy manipulations with this. If you have a tight end over there, you snap the ball, he's going to be there waiting on it. And that's going to give you time to climb the pocket, find your read, etc., etc. So tight end on the left, that is probably the easiest and most foolproof way to block this. If you guys don't want to do that, I understand, but that's the truth. It really is. The next one that you guys can use, this is one I put on the channel before. This is for those of you that want to send 5 guys out on routes. So we've got ID the mic on the corner. So what you're oftentimes going to see is you're going to see people spread their defense and then press again. And if you can, go ahead and pull up your pass protection by hitting L1 on PlayStation. That's left bumper on Xbox. And you're going to hit A on Xbox. That's X on PlayStation to bring up your ID the mic. And you're going to toggle over to this corner. You're going to hit A. Now, here's the problem with this. In a game, if I see the quarterback point all the way over to the left, that tells me they're IDing the mic over there on the left, which is going to definitely cause the tackle and the offensive line in general to pay attention to the left side. that's inviting a right-sided blitz in. So there are visual tells that kind of go along with this. But if you guys know that they're just sending the front four, this is a great way to counteract it and still allow yourself to send 5 guys out on routes, because the tackle will react and be able to allow you to, hit your reads. So IDing the mic on the corner is a pretty good idea. Now, there are some inconsistencies to that, and we'll get into that here shortly. Actually, let's go ahead and get into one right now. One is that if that outside corner oftentimes is backed off the line, you'll notice that sometimes getting that ID the mic on him doesn't result in the same action. Sometimes that guy will still work his way around. Right there, it looked okay, but I'm just warning you guys that there are times in which, that tactic won't work if he's backed off. There are also formations that will kind of change how, whether or not you can use this tactic. So let me go an audible say into this formation right here. So let's say that I'm in this right here and we're doing the same setup. You would think that IDing the mic over here on this corner would work. But the truth is that what happens is he's too close. And this still allows that contained runner to go all the way around. So if they slide that corner to the inside or slide him back, there are times where this tactic won't work. So, I guess if you're viewing this video from a defensive perspective and you see them point over at the left, that should be a cue to you to go ahead and just do something kind of wild like this and just move him in, because now what ends up happening is that guy, more often than not, should still come in. You can start to kind of experiment with that on your own and mess with placement. Or like I said, if they point over to the left, you could probably still just, blitz additional people. And that's going to help, bring the easy guaranteed pressure is that visual cue. Now, let's say that for whatever reason, we're blocking the running back and he is still coming in, right? So I talked about there are ways to manipulate this. You block the running back, and even when you block the running back, that guy still comes in, right? If you guys want to block a running back, what you guys will want to do is go an additional 2 steps. So what you're going to do is you're going to block your running back, and then you're going to slap a double team on the defensive end, and then you're going to slap a mic on the outside corner. And even if I go and I do the same steps that manipulate the running back, this should cause the running back to stay home. And you see how he looks for the guy, and that's going to allow you to find your read there. So this is one that definitely works as well. This is a nice tip because this will actually work on the other side of the quarterback. So let's say for whatever reason your playbook doesn't have regular bunch, or you're in a formation where the running back needs to be on the right side of the quarterback for whatever reason. I don't know what that would actually be, but you could still block the running back, slap the double team here, slap the mic here, and then snap the ball and just be ready for that running back to come and, step across. You're gonna need a little bit better pocket presence if he's doing it that way, but that'll, kind of put the rusher off the edge into, a lot of people are like, oh, your guy got nano detected. And no, he's actually in a contain, and that's why he's standing out there in the flat. Now, you also see that little guy that, manned up, flew through the A gap right there. That's something you don't have to worry about. He's going to do that, and then he's going to run back and he's going to go play a spy. He's not actually going to sack you. So unless your opponent clicks on to this guy as he kind of runs through this gap, that's something you really don't have to worry about. The rest of this is just block sheds. So that's another way that you could do it. Let's go ahead and go back into a situation where, let's say for whatever reason you are running the nickel 3-3-5 odd, or facing the nickel 3-3-5 odd, and you're running a formation where, let's say like bunch tight end, for instance. Bunch tight end would be a really good example where, when we run this and we do, let's say you want to send 5 out and you do the whole thing where you ID the mic on this corner, right? You would expect that to work, and it actually doesn't, right? So that's one of those formations that I just kind of showed you where putting that ID the mic on that guy doesn't work. But let's say for whatever reason that you want to send 5 guys out on routes, like you've got a really good beat on what your opponent is doing. Let's say for whatever reason here they're in, let's do this out like Tampa 2 or whatever, right? For a fact they're in a cover 2 shell. You want to high-low them on the, let's say you want to high-low them on the left side with, a smart corner route, maybe a streak as well. And then maybe you want to do kind of the same drill over here, right? Where you want to, granted, we don't have a corner route because we don't have a hot route master, but imagine Higbee on a corner route and the running back on a wheel, right? So one thing that you could do is slap the mic on the outside corner, and then do a motion, but pay attention to your mic. So you see when I do this motion, how that guy widens out? That's a little trick to kind of get him to widen out further. And that's going to allow you to then, make your reads accordingly. So in a situation where, that guy is actually too close to ID, but you still want to send everybody out on routes, this is a phenomenal tip to kind of manipulate that guy into, basically widening out. So, you slap the ID, the mic on him, and then you just motion a guy across. And then you see once he widens out, you're in a spot where then you can snap the ball. You're going to be able to pick that up and throw your route back over the middle or whatever you want to do to, dot the coverage at that point. So that's another one that's really, really useful. Let's say that you are facing somebody who is really smart. You've done this tactic a couple times where you've ID'd the mic and then moved the guy out with motion. So you've done this, and they know what they're doing, right? So they move their corner and they just kind of flick the stick. And so that way, when you motion, he won't move. At this point, that you can't actually widen him out. So that you're going to have to block the running back. But let's say for whatever reason, you really don't want to block the running back. You've got something you like. And you need the running back and the tight end. So what you could do here is just kind of motion snap this guy across, snapping the ball as he passes the tight end. That's something you could try to do as well, and turn him into a blocker. Now, right there, actually, the left tackle blocked that okay. And that's kind of another thing that is a nice little tip as well, is if this contain guy bumps into anybody, a lot of times that allows the left tackle to recover. But that's not a consistent thing that you can rely on. So one thing that I will sometimes do is I will, motion snap this guy. So you snap the ball basically right here. So that way he's there to pick him up. And that's going to allow you to, have time to make your reads accordingly when that guy's still coming in off the edge. And then of course you always have the option to, try to motion block, a tight end across the formation, which is something I already showed you. Straight up blocking the tight end without motioning, kind of basically the same tip there. Again, to me, the best thing to do pound for pound is to just block a tight end. There are ways to, kind of manipulate the pass protection, especially when you start to get into the IDing the mic and, let's say that you get into the whole, let's send the tight end down a route, double team and ID the mic thing. At this point, now you're basically saying, I need two of my linemen to block the D end. I need my running back to block this guy. And all that's going to do is just invite people to, start blitzing you heavily. When you start to get into that, that's when, pressure starts to come in, et cetera, et cetera. You start to run edge blitzes off the opposite side, especially if they're double teaming to the, the left side, that you're going to be able to bring free pressure off the right. So let's say for whatever reason, your opponent is, doing this double team, block the running back. This is where this all of a sudden becomes a lot more of an issue, because now you're in a spot where, they have to worry about the free runner, the looper off the left side. And then you've also got the fact that you just got free pressure off the right side as well, because they've done such an intricate setup just to get the running back to pay attention over to the left. So that is today's video, guys. Make sure that you guys write all these down. This is something that you can do in any playbook. You don't have to have a specific playbook to make this work. Again, the ways that you can block this: running back blocking on the left. Obviously that can be manipulated. So there's the advanced formula with the double team and ID the mic. Blocking a tight end on the left. Motion snapping a receiver to the left. You also have the ID the corner trick. You have the motion if you're in a compress set to widen out that corner, so that way you can ID him. There's a lot of different ways to do this here. And then of course, running the ball on this. This is not the best run stopping, formation in the world, especially the way people have to spread their line to set this up. This is an inside zone waiting to happen. So run the inside zone to the right, guys. This is one of the easier, runs that you can consistently pick up 5+ yards on with a real threat to hit a home run. I mean, you look at the way this sets up. Run the inside zone to the right on this. This is a very, very easy run call to use right here. If we get any of our receivers to do their job right here, obviously you see the convoy that we have. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Again, guys, this was something that was in the Gridiron Vault basically 2 months ago. So if you guys enjoyed this tip, please be sure to go check out the website, gridirongameplans.gg. I do sometimes release content that is from the website down the road here on the YouTube channel, just to kind of show you guys what is on the website. And I thought that this would be a really good topic because with the move to zone, I'm seeing a lot more nickel 3-3-5 odd now, a lot more of the 2-4-5 odd that I talked about as well on not only this channel, but also on Gridiron Game Plan. So hopefully this video will be beneficial for you guys for the rest of the year. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to drop those below. Subscribe here to the YouTube channel, go over to Gridiron, and I'll see you guys here tomorrow with my next video upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.